everyone, and welcome to our intro to our OBIN podcast. My name is Douglas Laws, and with me is my father, the founder of the OBIN, Steve Laws. Hey, Dad, how's it
Yes,
going?
really good. Very happy to be here today as we kick off this new series of videos, podcasts to talk more about the network and what it's all about, the Online Bible Institute network. So it's just a new phase, and we're very excited about getting it going. And things that we're doing now.
Yeah, you've done really an awesome job with the Online Bible Institute. Do you want to tell everybody, how it started? Like, where was day one for it, and then kind of lead us through the whole process of where it's at today?
Yeah, so 2014, we started. I noticed at our church there was about 20 people who we were doing Bible study, and they all expressed a desire to take it to another level and maybe earn some sort of certificate or something. And so I started to research about what that would look like. And in those beginning sort of research, I found a lot of material online that was available. And then I decided we could start taking courses that were offered free from other spots. And we did that as a group. And then that sort of became another layer. I built a website for it. I was building websites at the time. And as I was building the website, I found the domain name onlinebibleinstitute.org. So I bought it and built a website on that. And that has just over time become it's a lot of people have found the site organically on Google and other spots by searching for a Bible Institute or an online Bible Institute. So then we took it from there, as things do, and I started thinking, right now, is there a way we can offer certificates and degrees? And researched it and found out that in our state, in Florida, they will allow you to offer degrees, bachelor's degrees, associate's degrees, master's degrees. If they're ministry degrees and you're an established, sort of religious institution. So we applied, and we were given the ability to grant those degrees in Florida. So it just sort of took off from there, continued to find more places that had really good courses, and that's developed over time, although we had way more courses at one point, and we've sort of brought them back into a working sort of group. And over the years, students kept coming. That first group of students from the church, actually, most of them got associate's degrees, and we, after 2 or 3 years of work, we did it together. And then we started picking up students from all over the world because they found us online, to the point now where we've had over 2,000 students go through the institute, and there's hundreds that are active right now at all different levels from all over the world.
Yeah, I remember it was years ago with that first church group that we had in our church, Keys Vineyard Church, that we had a graduation ceremony for them. That was a lot of fun. And maybe someday we'll get to do that again, or do a virtual one, because we have all these hopes and dreams, and we'll see what happens. But
I would love to start figuring out how to do that virtually over, as we go. So, that was 10 years. This is a 10-year place where we're at now. And then in redreaming and reimagining where we're going, the next sort of hope, the two things that we're doing is where you've come in and you're really helping now establish the social side of this. I want there to be more interaction with the students. We have students from all over the world, which is really amazing to me. And what an opportunity as, brothers and sisters in the Lord, to be able to have some interaction with folks outside of us and to be there to encourage and to pray and to build the community that way. So that's really big on what we're doing. I've also realized that, as it continues to grow, I'm not always able to spend the time with students that I would like to. And we're going to develop that. So one of the plans on that is to have more networks, more Bible institutes in the network. And we're hoping to strategically place them all over the world. We have our first one up and running now for several months in Cameroon. So it's cameroon.bibleinstitute.net, and they offer the same courses, and all of the degrees and everything will come from us. Jesus Moment Bible Institute and Seminary. That's the official school behind all of this.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm really excited. They've got a number of students, and the way those work is the guy who's running it, his name is Brain. I love his name. He's in Cameroon, and he's one of our master's students, and he had other people that wanted to start taking courses that he was already trying to minister to in his group. So that's kind of the requirement for me is that they either have a master's degree or in our master's program. And then we happily go in and set up everything. It's no cost, because that's been a big deal from the beginning of this, is we've never charged anybody anything for any of the stuff that we do. Right. So all the degrees are free, all the programs are free. And I want to be able to provide these institutes also freely. So we've done the last couple of years, sometime in COVID, the idea started. I spent a lot of that time working on developing the website in a way that it could easily be done in other spots. And so we've done a lot of not all, but most of the behind the scenes stuff is done, so that if people are willing to have a Bible Institute for their church or for their community or for their country or whatever, we're in the process of beginning those. In the near future, I'd like to set up another 5 and get those running, but I'd love to have 100 at some point, and just develop those. And again, they're free. And the reason behind that is that each person that's running a institute, I think, can effectively handle about 100 students that are busy, and give them another level of care that I can't necessarily give.
Well, yeah, that's you're at 2,000 students, you said, with your current institute so you're managing. That's a lot of people.
There's probably several hundred that are very busy. Yeah. In the associate's degree and in the bachelor's degree, there's not a whole lot of support other than I grade papers and tests and things. And then we started the master's program a few years ago, and my goal would be that I spend more time working with those students, and then as each one of these Bible institutes open, the master's students will stay with us in the main site, but the other ones can have these sort of, I'd love for them to be able to gather, if not in person, but online, in groups and talk through what's happening and just take that up a whole nother notch, which I think would really increase things. So that's all part of the vision. Now it's just
making it happen.
And it takes time. I mean,
it does,
to get this far.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's remarkable how far it's come in these last 10 years. I remember 10 years ago, I was married, but, I can remember back when I was living with you, when I was a child, you working on all those websites, just spending night after night after night in that little office, just building websites and stuff. So, you've really poured in your heart and soul into this. And, I'm excited about this upcoming season as we build this network of hopefully many great institutes. And, we're providing the template for these institutes. It's like, okay, we've curated these courses, we've set them up, and what I think you mentioned, Cameroon might have changed a few courses. We have one of our institute templates in Cameroon. Can you kind of explain? Because I remember, weeks ago, we showed a video from them. They were very thankful because we were able to provide them with a printer, I believe. It was a printer. And you mentioned how they have made a few changes in their institute from the template to fit their needs, specific to their area and their students. So would you kind of talk about some of those and how other institutes, that as they start, they'll be able to, have the template, but also be flexible with it?
Yeah, well, and what I found out was in their educational system. So in our country and other countries, it sort of goes associate degree, bachelor's degree, master's degrees. But in Cameroon, they don't have an associate's degree. They have these like diplomas, if you would. And so it didn't work. They have a bachelor's degree, they understand, and master's degrees, but it's the associate. So what we did there was we changed the wording and we offered diplomas. and it kept the courses pretty much the same. And then we added to their course list some courses that are specific to sort of Cameroon and the surrounding area. And so they maybe have 10 courses that aren't in the regular mix. But other than that, they use our core courses and have access to some of the other courses. But we kept them really simple. So in the template for the other Bible institutes, there's like 40 courses because we want them to finish. And we suggest take them like this. And so they still have 40 courses. Each course earns a certificate in all of our Bible institutes. Each 10 courses earns a certificate. We don't print certificates for one course. 10 courses are certificate. 2 certificates, that's 20 courses, earns either a diploma or at our place it would be an associate's degree. And then 4 completed certificates would be a bachelor's degree, 40 courses.
Okay.
And then from there, they
very similar, but yeah, just that different wording to fit their needs. And it's cool that the template is that flexible. For sure.
Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out what they need. And so now, based off Cameroon, we would have a template that was probably more adaptable to all the countries surrounding Cameroon. So in the past, I've had people express interest. We'd love to do this, and I haven't really said, "Yay, let's do it," because it's a lot of work. But now that the work's done, right. We're going to start slowly inviting students. I haven't put the word out yet, especially at the master's level. Hey, if you want a Bible Institute for your church or for your town or community or whatever, we'll get you one hooked up and we'll provide it all. We'll do all the web. We take the cost. We do all of it, and they're great. For churches too. We use this format. And we mentored a whole bunch of young people. If you remember, most of your brothers-in-law were in the group.
Yeah, and, I remember.
We used it, and then every week we would gather and we'd talk about what we had learned. And like everybody in that group got an associate's degree too. It was like 15, 20 people in that group. So
yeah, and a lot of them are working in churches now and using their degrees daily. So they got associate's degrees, and we're able to use them to work in the church, and it was a great meeting. And so that was a great setup. We would meet once a week, and then they'd all do their stuff online during the rest of the week, and then we gather and we talk about it, and we'd keep going. And they'd have a practical application too, because they were involved in the church as they were doing it. And that's sort of another key part of our institute model, is that we're making the school load realistic because we want you in the ministry doing the stuff too, and it's there to augment that. Right. And because I'm taking a master's course now. I'm in the master's program, and I did the Bible project. We did Intro to the Hebrew Bible first, and I went through that, and that was a great course. Now I'm on Heaven and Earth, and it's really interesting. And these are all tremendous courses. The Bible project stuff's really good. I think why don't you talk about the different courses for the different levels? Because you said you sort of condensed the amount of courses, because I remember you once had like hundreds of courses on the site, and you've really sort of honed that into your favorites. So why don't you talk about some of those? Like, what would your favorite courses be? What would you recommend if someone's thinking about jumping in, getting started from day one? Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, all the course providers they're really good. They're just different. So we use Harvest Time. We've used those for years. They're really good. They don't take a lot of time, and they're not video based. So you can read them. They're downloadable PDFs, which is very helpful to our students that don't have great online capabilities. And so I like all of those just as a good sort of foundation. And then we build again throughout your courses. We keep having people go back through the Bible. There's a lot of Bible courses mixed in with theology, but always back to the Bible, and then different sort of looks and from different professors, building a strong Bible foundation. And then there's, depending on the what part of it you're in, there's some counseling helps. There's some other stuff going on to give pastors and lay people a broad range of things to do, and helps to do in their ministry. Because like you said, we're both full-time in ministry, and many of our students are full-time pastors and or want to be, involved more in ministry. And so it's a nice mix, and you can take things and you learn all the time. At the master's level, you're talking about Bible Project. Love those.
Yes, very good.
They're really good. We use a number of others in the bachelor's program that are also excellent courses, and all very helpful, very applicable. We tried to find stuff that you could actually use in your ministry as you're going through it. So I'm sure in the weeks ahead we'll talk a lot more about that and the curriculums and what's going on with that. If someone's interested in Bible Institute, jump in and take the creative Bible study methods from Harvest Time. And I think that's a great way to start, and it kind of works you through the Bible. It's a great first course. And if you're thinking about our graduate programs and everything, go ahead and jump into the Bible Project and take the Art of Biblical Words, just 3 hours. It's a prerequisite anyway. You got nothing to lose, and it's free. And It will probably fires up most people. That's why I have all the graduate students start with that one.
Right. That was a good one too.
Oh, it's great. It's like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff here I never even heard about. So, I get very excited about that. I would love to see us do what's not humanly possible, and get institutes everywhere and students everywhere, and just have fun with it and make a difference. But I always tell students when they're coming in that I do talk to. I talk with all the master's students coming in on Zoom. How amazing is it that we can be here where we're at, down in the end of Florida? We're on a little island basically, and yet we can make a difference all over the world. And I want to see that grow now. I want to see, take it to the not only education but an encouragement and a discipleship and a place, eventually where we can help one another and answer questions and do all sorts of things in the ministry. So it's just building a real solid foundation, which we've not been in a hurry. God's timing has taken 10 years, and I just think we're in a really good spot for it to really kind of take off.
Yeah, it's really exciting stuff. And, over these next few weeks, we'll have a few more of these talks between the two of us about OBIN and the OBI network. And if you are a prospective student thinking about signing up, you can join our institute for now, the onlinebibleinstitute.org. That's the one you'd want to visit. And then, if you're a minister at the master's level, you might qualify to start your own institute for your community. So you'd want to find the Online Bible Institute Network site. So is that onlinebibleinstitute.net? Is that the site they'd want to find?
Probably, although for now, let's just keep them coming through the site that I monitor every day. I've built those other sites, and they're sitting there and doing what... So, websites have to cook on the internet for a while.
Google SEO is an art form.
Yeah. So I let them cook for a while, but they're there, they're up and running, and they're doing what they need to do. But they could everybody should come through the onlinebibleinstitute.org, and they can check it out, get a feel for it, and they can contact us through there. There's there's a contact form, and there's lots of ways to get a hold of us there.
All sorts of websites you got going on. So everything goes through onlinebibleinstitute.org.
It does for now. Eventually, we'll probably move that over to the... We now have BibleInstitute.net, which is a really good domain name. It wasn't available years ago. I don't know how it popped up, but it did. And that will sort of be the focus for all of the, we use subdomains. I'm getting funny now to put the other sites up. Because like Cameroon is cameroon.bibleinstitute.net.
Right.
And it's a great website.
That's going to pop right up in a Google search. So... we're here to talk about the Bible and Google SEO.
It almost did immediately. If you search for Cameroon Bible Institute, it just cooked right up. It just goes boom, there it is.
Boom, there we go. Because you've got all that, stuff behind the scenes working.
Yeah, when you've got these things going for a while, and anyway, that's all SEO stuff. It's not. Yeah. I look back and think I was so sort of mesmerized by it all, but it was all for this. God had me doing that for this. I didn't know it then. I thought I would build websites or something, on the side, and it was that never happened. It was always about learning enough to do this.
Yeah.
So
Well, how cool is that? That you can use something like Google SEO and nerd out, but you're using it to disciple people globally. So
yeah,
that's really the heart of OBIN, is making a difference all over the world from home. So
yeah, there you go. As you can see, we're both at home right at the
we're
moment.
both at home in my luxurious home office right in front of my bed.
Mine too, with the cat running around. Yeah.
So, hey, it was a great talk, Dad, and I'm
Yes.
looking forward to next week. We've got some notes here. Yeah, good stuff. And
Good.
yeah, if you have any ideas, if you're watching this for things you'd like us to talk about, we may or may not listen to those, but you can comment them. And we'll eventually talk about more Bible stuff and less SEO stuff. But it's all it's all good. Yep. So
Let's
anyway,
all just start. We'll figure it out.
yeah, for sure. But God bless you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Yes, God bless. Bye-bye.